Hello everybody and welcome to My Hero Academia chapter 318 review. This chapter is titled Reckless. Now, last chapter, what ended up happening was a conversation between the sort of alliance of heroes that was Endeavor, Hawks, Best Jeanist, Edgeshot, Comley Woods, and Mount Lady. They had a conversation. The dad of Deku, being All Might, as I probably need to call him, got pretty much rejected and told to stay away from Deku because he doesn't want him to get hurt. And Deku is suffering with some mental trauma, as we see Stain at the end, and Stain makes a really cool comment about how Deku is a dark hero. Now, jumping into this chapter, it starts off with Endeavor talking on the phone to Deku, and he says, "We're switching up our approach. At this rate, you're not going to last much longer. The official dispatch dates for foreign heroes will be decided soon. That means there will be a lot more personnel able to expand our operation. And you're the key to all of this, so we can't have you running yourself into the ground." And Deku says, "I'm still on my feet. I'm fine. I can't give the villains time to prepare." And he ends the call. And then we sort of see something with all of the users of, or all of the past users of One For All, out of sort of fading behind in smoke behind Deku. And they're like, "Listen, Knife, your wounds are far from healed. It's not yet time to throw caution to the wind." And then he jumps up, and the fourth user's there in smoke, still just sort of looking back. And then they're all there in that room again, all of the past users. And Nana Shimura is like, "My own feelings place a heavy burden on him." And Dangoro Banjo's like, "Nah, the kiddo sees every cause as a worthy one." And then I need to remember his name. I think it's like Shimokage or whatever, Himurai Shimokame or something. And he's the fourth user with Danger Sense, and he says, "Better or for worse, the manifestation of our quirks has enabled him to act on his primary motivation." Then we see the silhouette of All Might there, and it says, "He now seeks to save everyone as a true superhero." And then the first user sort of just staying there, and he's like, he's choosing the right path. And third user says, "You think so, leader?" And second user says, "Inaction is not an option, especially given the circumstances. That's how it is for those of us who bear One For All." And he looks back and he says, "That said, if there's anything that could bolster Izuku Midori right now, it would be..." And in typical anime and manga fashion, we don't get to see what he finishes up saying. But whenever he says that, we look at the third user and Yochi's faces. Yochi being the first and original user of One For All. The guy who's One For All's younger brother. And then we see Deku fighting some thugs, protecting some people, and using his stuff. And he says to the kids, he's like, "Are you hurt?" And then this kid's like, "Multiple quirks, are you working for All For One?" And he's like, "What? No." And the kid's like, "Glad to hear it," and he runs away. And they say, "Really, we're just fine and dandy." Then Deku gets something from Danger Sense and jumps up again. And he thinks everyone's got it rough. What does All For One want? Where is he? I have to put a shot to stop the Shigaraki and the League. And then he thinks about it again with him saying, "It's your turn." That was One For All, or no, All For One. And he's like, "I can't let them hurt anyone else. I have to complete One For All so that everyone can live their lives peacefully and safely." And we see some dude who looks like a shark coming out of water, it looks like. It's pretty interesting. Deku beats him, because that's the only panel we see. And then he's walking through the woods, sort of just like messing with his costume, sort of looking like he's ripping a piece off because it's gotten so tattered. And he thinks of his mother. He thinks of Gran Torino. He thinks of All Might. He thinks of Aizawa. And he thinks of Eri. And while he's doing this, he's saving some kids, and he also says, "So we can all smile together again." And Deku's sort of just standing there, looking all menacingly, while thinking of everyone in Class 1A. and it's all pictures of all of them being happy, and like Tokoyami's there in the corner with Dark Shadow, and Kirishima's got his shirt off swinging it around. Even Bakugo's sort of got a grimace on his face, smiling. And they're all smiling, being happy, and Deku's like, so we can all smile together again. And then he sort of wobbles down a path, and then he sort of just falls, and then he hears, a reckless rampage, one of anxiety and impatience. You take on the world alone to the point of exhaustion and ruin. I like to think of this guy as having a Russian accent. I don't know why. And he's like, yes, indeed, you are just as he described you. Palace and number, I see, say, taking you in will bring me security. And it's this little weird-looking dude. He's got, like, puppet arms, and, like, he's got this cord stretching out from the top of him. And you see that he's got a whole bunch of people connected to these wires, and in the background, there is a All Might statue with the sign, I am not here on it, which sort of adds insult to injury. And then Deku says, you're dictator, an escapee from Tartarus, another hired gun. Let's hope you're the one who tells me where All for One is. And then we, he sends people in front of him saying, ha ha! Spoiling for a fight to you very well. Fight you should have against ignorant masses themselves. And the people are like, we can't control our bodies, as they're running towards him with weapons and everything. And Deku's like, dictator, the one who caught him 5 years ago is Crust. Crust, the good old hero Crust. Definitely not dead now. And he says it was during the bloodless surrender case, his quirks deposit, his control over others can only be broken with striking blow to his victims or by knocking him out. Of course, he's taking precautions by having civilians shield him. He did not resort to big powerhouse moves. What about Air Force? No, I don't want my gloves. Maybe Black Whip. And then they're all swarming him, and he's like, this isn't, and these people are swarming him like, this isn't our fault. Our bodies aren't listening to us. We're not trying to hurt you. And Deku's like, I know that. It's okay. I'll free you of all of this, and you'll be fine. As you've got this look in the one eye that we can see, looks like he's tired and he's just sad, just glazing on into the distance. And he's like, I just need a strategy, as they're all swarming him. And then we see somebody flying over. He's like, and this dude says, that punk, and uses an armor-piercing shot right on to the person's head. And then we see a flashback back to the second user, and Deku sort of just looking up in shock as we remember what second user was saying about if there's anything that could bolster Izuku Midoriya right now, it would be. And we see Bakugo just looking down on him, saying, he's here, guys. And the chapter ends. Bakugo's back. That's about what I can say for this chapter. It is great. It is great. It is great. This is exactly what I'm waiting for, is a class to come back. And also, there's this sort of tease at the end where the second user's looking back and they've got the same hair color shade and all of that. And yay, more people to fuel the fire of Bakugo time traveling and being the second user one for all. Yay. But yeah, Bakugo's back, and something that I really thought about reading this chapter was him saying, he's here, guys. Sort of like he's complying with his class, which, if we remember Bakugo from before, and as you see the volume I've got in front and center of the manga volumes today, is Bakugo in his rage. And all of that during the Sports Fest. No, it's not Sports Fest. I forget that. What's that volume contain? Oh, I can't remember. Is it? Oh, that contains the All Might fight with Deku and who's his face? With Deku and during the hero first semester term finals thing. But yeah, Bakugo's there, and it's just a really cool shot and all of that, and also, that's really the best part of this chapter, in my opinion. It's just the anticipation that's built up at the end, being like, oh crap, there's Bakugo. What's next? And good and great for us, we have a 2-week break. Horikoshi's taking a week off after this chapter. Hey, I don't have a problem with it. Team needs to take his break, as we've seen from recent manga recently. It ain't been good. But yeah, good thing that this chapter's really good. It's taking a break next week, so we're going to have a 2-week break. And yeah, that's really all I've got to say for this chapter. I'm really hyped for the next one, and it looks like we may be seeing the whole class next chapter again. And hopefully, they may have new designs, and we may get to see Uraraka and Deku. Because I know it's something that people probably really want to see. And also, the tease of the second user in Bakugo. And that's all I've really got to say for this chapter. It was a good chapter. Good on every read-through. I don't care. And that's going to be it for this video. Thank you for watching. And this is glowplasma231.